Right, I'm recording from now on.
Mhm.
Merch, we're sitting on a calm day by a canal. What were you thinking about as you sat here?
Well, actually, just started, focusing on myself, being more healthy mentally and physically. I think, for me, that's one of the most important part. And also, just to add, I just wanted a little bit of peace. I want to be one with nature. So where we are at the moment, you have trees, you have the river in front of you, and actually, uh, I don't know what's that called.
A lock.
A lock, yeah, but a lock, you can hear the gushing, the flowing of the water.
Yes.
And I was like, while I was walking up to here, I was like, can you feel the rhythm of the flow? So, I was just like, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just have a sit and then see what happens.
It's nice. I think, do you know what? I think it's the same for everyone who walks past a lock where there's running water. It's a soothing sound.
Yeah.
And actually, when I walked past it just down there, I saw one of the moorhens. It hopped up onto one of the waterfall bits and was just standing there. It's almost like the birds were enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Now, Merch, you said that you just kind of come to a decision that you needed to focus a bit on your health, mental health, and also physical health. What made you come to that decision now? Like, why weren't you doing it already? Had you kind of pushed it to the side because you're too busy, or what?
Well, I think to add to all of the burden, I don't know if I call it burden, but I work as a nurse, as an intensive care nurse for very sick children.
Right.
So, being, let's say, I had a hard time during COVID, and then afterwards, we got our kids back, but then they're very sick. So, if you're always in the hospital, looking after them, I think it gives a very bad, what do you call this? A very bad, not so good treasure that you would want to throw away in some deep ocean somewhere. And I think being at peace, being with nature, that gives me a little bit of security, or to where I can like peacefully throw away all of that bad treasure that I have with me.
It's interesting. You talk about the fact that because you're in a caring profession, because you're a nurse, and it's quite intense, it's intensive care, and it's children, that there isn't, you kind of don't think about it, but the people who do the caring need a release from what you do. So you don't think that you've kind of been providing yourself with that space to do that?
Yeah, I think so. But what I think is fascinating with this talk that we're having, because like the topics are like fitting into places. Because when I was in Victoria Park, I walked past by this nursery, and I saw 2 to 3 year olds, and I was like, they're happy, they're healthy, and I was like thinking to myself, I should volunteer there, but I don't know how. And then now I'm here sitting with you talking about my profession, and then it brings me back to the memory of me walking earlier in that nursery, and I was like, David, what is with you? Have you been following me for the past hour?
No. I just caught you at a thoughtful moment, didn't I? So even though you do this intensive care, you still want to give more.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Because that's very generous of you with your time to want to do another voluntary thing on top of the thing that you already do.
Well, it's part of our service to humankind, to mankind, because I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't do that job. So a part of me is like, it's part of my job, but then it's also my job to give back for the blessings that I have. So, it's like, even though it's like I get bad experiences, blah, 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 and all of that, get negativity with the things that I think, the things that I see. But when I see someone like get better, they become happy, when you see healthy kids running around, it just makes your heart full, makes you happy, and that no, I'm fine now, and
that's wonderful. So in a way, that's a kind of release.
Yeah,
to get the positive outcomes.
Actually, that's my kind of release, throwing away all of the unwanted treasures, unwanted memories, unwanted sights and views that I see in the hospital. So,
I would imagine also that in terms of the teams that you work in, there's a lot of you share the stress with each other, you talk to each other do you also do offloading in that sense by sharing with your co-workers?
Actually, I think on that topic, it has not been a thing in the space where I work, but I think the past few months there have been some movements or engagements wherein we have sessions wherein you can like voice out what you feel. You can speak with trained professionals on how to deal with anxiety and how to deal with the things that you feel that you couldn't just easily throw away or let go.
That's it. So they actually provide like a work structure to do this, where you sit down. But that's slightly different from the informal setting of your colleagues, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because in a way, by putting it in a framework, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'd feel it was as valid to do it in a professional setting rather than, I don't know, having
Outside
a coffee
of
with
work.
friends outside
Yeah.
of work and.
Well, to think about it, because let's say in a cultural perspective, I'm in an intensive care for kids, and then like let's say 90% of the population are female professionals, female nurses, and all of that. Sometimes it's just quite difficult to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because
Now I get you. Now I get you. So you are unusual in being a male nurse in your, and so you haven't quite got the connections to be able to.
Yeah, no, because I think if you let's say, how do you put this in proper words? Let's say, because I have a different language. Sometimes my tone can mean differently, and it can cost you your relationship, your professional relationship with people. So
So you have to double think a bit.
yeah, you have to
be
double
careful.
think. You have to be careful because, like, technically, English is not my first language.
Right.
So sometimes there are like terms that are different from the English, and then let's say even just the British English, and then the English and the American English. There's a lot of difference in terms, in tones, and how you deliver them. So sometimes it's better to be just like safe.
That's interesting. So you play it safe.
Yeah.
I would have thought, just in terms of communication, because it's face to face, I would have thought the body language kind of transmits what you want to say. I mean, it's not like a text which can be misinterpreted, but if you're saying it with an open face and kind of like in a kind way, it's interesting that you're still quite careful.
Yeah, but actually, it's quite cliche to say, but I have all of these thoughts behind me. I have all of these safety nets behind me, but I'm like the most extrovert guy in the unit. So like,
oh really?
They love me, because I like just bring happiness. I make everyone laugh. So everyone gives me hugs, and I was like sometimes. Should I hug back or not? Those kinds. But I was okay, let's just high five, do a dab with me, and then
Oh, that's nice. So you play the role of the motivator, the clown, the happy guy. Is it like a professional happiness that you do? Like, how waiters are professionally efficient and kind, or is it genuinely you're actually a positive person?
Well, I'm Filipino.
Right.
So like, let's say 80% of like Filipinos are in the like caring healthcare because of our attitude, because of our behavior towards people, and how we show care, how we show love. And just to add, I'm from the place in the Philippines where we call the City of Love.
Oh, that's great.
I think that adds up to it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Because even back home, my tone, the tone of the city that I am in. Shout out to Iloilo City. We have the most caring, the most gentle voice in the Philippines, the most gentle tone. So I think that also adds to it.
That's interesting. So you actually grow up in a city where everyone has the feeling that we are the sort of gentle, kind, caring.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the fact that there's a a kind of national trait of caring for others. Just explain that a bit more, because I'm unfamiliar with the Philippines. I've not been there.
Oh, yeah,
But is
fine.
it part of growing up that you should care for other people within your culture?
I think as like
Or is it-
hospitality has been embedded to us as we grow old. It's like to give respect to your elders, to look after one another, and let's say, for example, we have this culture that everyone is invited to the table. Everyone
Okay,
can.
so the table is always open.
The table is always open for everyone.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. So give me an example of how that's perhaps different to here, or how you've seen a difference to here.
Well, I think I'm not sure if it's like more of a generational trait or the people at the moment or the population at the moment would love their individual time or in the I want to be at peace with my own. But one thing I recognize is that, like, for example, on your break time, some people would just, like, sit on the corner, have their own time, eat their own time. But for us, we'd always, oh, you want a piece of this, and we not just like to be polite that we offer, but we actually offer you something.
You genuinely want to
give.
share.
Yes, yes. Not just like, because sometimes it's just like to be polite. Oh, do you want something? Do you want Do you want a piece of this?
Yeah,
those
yeah.
kinds,
So it's not just like I'm making tea. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
But it's more than that.
It's more than that.
So that giving and that kind of welcoming of other people means that I can see why everyone else on your ward likes you, but also the fact that
maybe.
but also the fact that they react well to it means that it is genuinely a human trait that we all react well to. It's a positive thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because people they could push you away and go, this is too much merch, can you just tone it down?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah, actually, and I think it's just like how you read people. I don't know if it's like that, if it's being defensive or whatever, but sometimes you just can read the aura, and then just find the perfect moment wherein you can like insert and go in, and then like let's all smile, let's all be happy. If you're not, then we'll do it again later. Those.
And how does it make you feel when it's all working well, where your positivity and your generosity is getting the feedback it needs? I'm assuming it's something that feeds into itself because it makes you feel good, so you want to do it more. Is it that kind of cycle for you personally?
Well, for me, I think it doesn't feed me anything. It's just like how my day goes, and I've never actually gauged on like how many people I've made I made smile today. It's just like my regular thing. So
Yeah. And yet you felt that you needed to, going back to something we said earlier, you need to focus on your own mental health, on your own physical health a bit at the moment, and just gather your forces and take a bit of time for yourself. So there is a thing about giving and giving and giving, which is it maybe does take
sometimes
it out
too
of you.
much. Yeah, sometimes it's just too much. But I don't know, because I don't know when to stop. And I think it's just now that I'm starting to give back to myself. Because before I cannot, like now, if you see my tracker, I've had my 10K steps every day.
This is the tracker on your watch or
No,
something?
because I have what we call this in the Philippines. I'm a tito. So a tito is something old school. I'm not fond with gadgets. I'm just like
Okay. Right, so analog. Nothing digital. Okay.
I just open my heart app and then see my steps there, how much kms I've got. Because before I cannot do this, and I can't even like sit here. I'm just at home playing with my PC, and that's how I spend my day. But
So you forced yourself to come out.
I don't force myself
Oh,
because
okay.
I think it's for myself. So this is the gift that I can give to myself: be healthy, walk, go out, get some sun. I have this what I call a dose of greens per day, but it's not for my gut, but it's for my eyes, it's for my brain. Because if I go out, I'll walk, and then for an hour I'll just look at trees. I'm gonna breathe in good oxygen. I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna feel, I'm gonna breathe fresh air. look at these squirrels,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
look
And
at the
the birds in
pigeons
the
and the
water.
birds and whatever.
So,
And
so the physical greenness and focusing your eyes on long distance things, that's all about just maintaining a bit of
yeah,
balance.
that's my balance. That's how I give back to myself. And you know, look at me here. I am here with you. And which is a good thing because it's been a while. I mean, sometimes you make stories in your mind, in your brain, like I want to speak to someone. I want to have a conversation, a random conversation with someone. But now look at me here. I'm like with you. You're recording in a podcast, and I'm like, what is the universe doing? So it means that maybe the universe is answering back to me that Merch. See, you're
That's
doing
nice.
good. You're doing good. Continue. Do what you do.
I like that sort of universe talking to you also. I mean, you said just before I started recording, you said, well, I'm not very good at expressing myself. I'm not sure what I'll say,
Oh,
but
yeah, fine,
but you know, you have lots of things to say. The way in which you spend your days off, it's your time. Do you seek? I mean, there's something that you said just then which kind of clicked with me, which is sometimes when you're in public spaces on your own, you see other people have meaningful conversations. You see friends together having a
Yeah.
coffee or chatting, and you kind of want that, but you can't do it just with a stranger.
True,
And
true.
sometimes you know, your friends don't have days off on the day that you have days off, etc. Do you have like a circle of friends who you do meet up with and you can just like share with every week?
Yeah, of course. I mean, cause like, I'm just gonna put it on the ground, but in healthcare, cause like most of my friends are also nurses. Like the ones from the Philippines are most of them. Like if you see a Filipino in the street, 80% chance it's a nurse. So yeah.
Okay.
In terms of my workmates or the ones that I work with, because sometimes we have our rota done 3 months, 2 months in advance, so it's just like very difficult to find the perfect opportunity for you to gather all together. So sometimes what we do after work, we go out for dinner or for breakfast in the morning if we do a night shift, and sometimes if you're lucky enough, when someone sends an invite in the group chat and say, "Oh guys, next week who's available? There's
Yeah.
like a show or whatever. Let's go out
Nice.
and do that." But in terms of my friends, the circle of friends that I have, it's quite difficult because like they're in different hospitals and all of that. But sometimes I have go-to friends because I work shifts like scattered across the week, but I have
Right.
friends who work Monday to Fridays.
Mhm.
And then whenever I'm not good with myself, when I'm like on the deepest part of myself, I'm just like on a Sunday or on a Saturday, like, guys, are you available? Let's catch up. Let's go for drinks. Because I think before, also the quality, I think now I'm focusing on the quality of time that you have with friends. Before, I used to party a lot, blah blah blah, get drunk with alcohol and all that. But lately, I just realized the importance and how life changing it is to like have a brunch and then have quiet time with your friends, just have a little laugh, share conversations that you can hear, that you can properly understand, and that you can properly respond to, rather than just like the loud music and the lights and whatever. So yeah, I think there has been a lot of changes on how I perceive going out or having time with friends.
What do you think about those changes? Because it sounds like it's almost like you're going into a different phase of life. Maybe
Yeah.
you're feeling like you're a bit older. Maybe you just crave different things. Do you feel that you're slightly changing gear at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. Because, how do you call this? I think, yeah, changing gears and like thinking that we're not getting young, so we need to look after ourselves. We need to, because let's say your whole life you've been looking after people, but sometimes you just need to like slow down, look after yourself, because if you can't look after yourself, if you're sick, if you get into a worse or a very bad condition, you won't be able to do the job that you do. You won't be able to care after others.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So look out, yeah, exactly. I can
You
quite.
can look out after them. After, say, in my profession, let's say I'm just like thinking logically. I can't properly do my job if I don't look after myself. So
And
it's
also, I think that the type of nursing you do, I have medical friends, some who have worked with children and some who work with adults. And those who work with children, they say that one of the things which is kind of specific is because they're children, they don't have kind of like rational knowledge that adults do to kind of explain things to themselves and understand what's going on. So there must be a lot of confusion and fear with children, which is slightly different to adults because they're relying on you to explain exactly what's going on because they don't know. So you have to be, I'm assuming, when you're working with kids in care in a medical setting, you have to be extra kind of empathetic, extra tuned in because they're that much more helpless.
Well, sometimes one thing I find funny is that I know their language. I I go I put myself I don't know if it's like putting myself on their shoes because they're young or whatever, but sometimes I just speak the way they speak. I try to understand what they want. Let's say for example, they're bored, give them toys, give them something to play with, give them something that can take away their boredom because who wouldn't who would want to be in a hospital,
Yeah.
trapped in a four corners doing nothing, and then every time someone walks in a scrub, it's either they poke you, or it's either they put something cold on you. So
Right, so
you know,
they're if you're a kid in hospital,
It's gonna be
long
scary.
term,
It's gonna be
you're always
scary,
going to be
yeah.
worried when somebody walks into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
room. Kind of, what procedure now? Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of tune into their level, and you're just like, I want them just to enjoy themselves a bit more away from the medicine.
yeah, because like sometimes I treat them as my friends. I like give them high fives. Ask them just a basic. What do you want for breakfast? Do you want an apple? Do you want a fruit? Blah blah blah, and then just smile to them, and then make them feel that they can trust you, that they can be comfortable with you. Because sometimes even if like when someone trusts you, even if like you poke them, but you tell them
Well, with
why.
a needle, it's like I'm taking blood.
Yeah, I'm
or
taking bloods. Yeah.
yeah.
You just tell them, I need to do this because it's for you. You give that what we call patient. It's quite weird to say patient education to a child, but if you tell them that it's for you, you're gonna get better. You're gonna so that you can go home and then have fun outside. Just go to their level of understanding. Make sure that they understand what you're doing, and then that it's for them, and then just like make them comfortable.
It's not. I mean, it's not for everyone. What you do. Was there a particular reason why you chose this branch of medicine? You could have done other things. What made you think that pediatric care was the one for you, or did you just fall into it?
No, actually, because like back in uni, my story is like back in uni, before you go into nursing school, you have interviews and all of that, and like I have this panel, and then I got the same question. Let's say, what age group do you want to look after if you become a professional? And like I told them, it's either pediatrics or geriatrics. Old people
Right.
and young people. Because like for me, I think that my answer at that time was, they're the most vulnerable. They cannot look after themselves, and I think that's the best way that I can provide service to humanity. Because you're just starting, you're just starting nursing school, and you want to impress them. But in the long run, it's the script. It becomes you. It becomes you. So whatever script.
So the decision you make, you kind of grow into that decision.
Yeah, I kind of grown up with that decision, and also because back home, I'm like a community leader. So I have activities for out of school youth. I have activities for teens who have been misguided into like let's say gangs, drug related whatever back home.
Okay.
So while I was in high school, I was already doing those
So
things.
you've always been involved in youth work.
Yeah, I've been always involved with this kind of thing. So I think the environment that I am in with, it's just like adds up. It's like the pieces are like just coming into, and then hopefully in the future it will be a better giant piece of merch or whoever that can give more to humanity or to the children or whoever.
So you say, so you see the kind of like the jigsaw all coming together bit by
Yeah.
bit by bit. What the youth work that you did? Why did you get involved in that in the first place? I mean, well, first of all, you could have been one of those kids, but you're not one of those
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
So you decide to help the kids who have gone down the wrong track. What made you want to do it at the beginning? How did you get involved?
I actually don't know because like before, I was like, I'm not that rich like to provide everything for them to sponsor all of these activities, but because I think I have
So
the
do
I
you
ha-
come from like an average kind of?
yeah, middle class
Middle-
family, but
right.
let's say I'm comfortable. We're comfortable. We're
Right.
comfortable in that position. So I would like talk to our local government units, like have I was like thick faced before, like that I would like.
What does thick-faced mean?
I will not be shy.
Oh, right. So you were very bold.
Yeah, I was very
kind
bold.
of- right.
Thick face is like what we used back home in the Philippines, wherein even if it's like a mayor, you just go into his office and then, can you help us? We have
Right.
yeah.
So
it's like,
so you found out that pushing at doors.
yeah. So I think from there I got the ability to to speak with people and then to make connections, to make professional relationships, and then because I think there's nothing wrong with helping people, with forming a group, because like let's say for example these kids at the moment, they don't know, I mean, even though we're at the same age group, they don't have the same environment that I am with, and
So you can see a broader picture than they
Yeah,
can. Because I'm
yeah.
assuming that a lot of the reason why kids anywhere go down the wrong track is they can't see other options.
yeah, so I think I was just like there to guide them, to like provide them an open door wherein they can like you can come in, you can try it, and then we'll see how it goes. And you might not know that it can give you a better future, a better life, and I think it was successful because I was able to have like a citywide activity wherein I had sports events, I had like musical events, and I'm at awe on how we as a group were able to push that, because we're not earning anything. We just I only have like a 10-pound allowance every week, but how was I able to push that? How was I able to pay for let's say 100-pound musical set that these kids can play in? How can I afford to pay that basketball court that would cost me 30 pound a game? You know.
So you succeeded, and that
Yeah.
success gave you confidence.
Yeah.
Is it still going? The stuff that you set up, is that kind of activity going with different people? Keep it going, or has that kind of like dissipated?
Actually, it has like somehow dissolved.
So it needs someone like you to keep it going.
It somehow dissolved through time, and I but I'm hoping that with all of this, because before we didn't have internet wherein we can like invite everyone. We just like use what do you call this, printed paper, and then like put it in walls, and hopefully people can
Yeah.
read that we have this activity, we have this. So if you want to come, just come support us,
So
or whatever.
it was a moment in time.
Yeah, it was a moment in time, just by mouth, and then just like spread by word, and then
But it sounds like a positive moment in time.
It was like it was way different back then, because if you do this kind of stuff at the moment, sometimes people are just like, he's just doing that for something, for for popularity, to gain blah blah blah, whatever. But I think before it was like more natural, more sincere. So yeah, brings back memories, brings back a lot of good good memories.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah,
It's good that it's positive memories. That's great.
but then I just blame adulthood. Adulthood, it takes away everything. It
Gets
takes
in our
away.
way.
It takes your youth. It takes your age. It takes your knees and your back. And. But yeah, hopefully we can go back to where we were, and then different age, different time, different environment, but same drive, same purpose, and same vision and goals. So,
Why we're sitting on a bank of a canal in London. You're from the Philippines. Why did you come here after you trained as a nurse? What other options? What brought you to the decision point where you just like, that's where I'm going to practice my profession?
poverty. No. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Were there other options?
There were, cause like back home, I think I was enjoying what I do. I was with informatics, and I was going through my master's study.
So informatics.
Nursing informatics. It's
Right,
more
what's that?
of systems related.
Okay.
Because I think we're at the cusp of the generation we're in. We are integrating technology. We're putting systems. We're using computers now.
Yeah.
We're having computerized data. So I was like on that field, but opportunity to go to the UK came, and I was like, let's give it a try. Let's give it a go, and let's face our fears of living alone. Because I was like living alone back home, but it's like an hour of flight away from Manila, because I worked in Manila that time. So from Manila going back to Iloilo, it's like it takes me an hour. But now I have to pay £1,000 and then have a flight of 20 hours to go home. I can't. First of all, I can't afford that. I can't afford to go home all the time, and 20 hours is like too much. But
There's also you said earlier on in the conversation that if you're walking around London and you see Filipinos, 80% will be in the caring profession. There's also a history then of people from the Philippines going to other countries.
well, yeah, like going back, poverty was not a joke. It's really I think that's the main thing. But I think also responsibility, because like again, I think it circulates around caring. Because for me, I was the eldest,
Okay.
the eldest among the family, and I told you before that I'm like from a middle class family. We're comfortable, but we don't have that much. So
Right.
yeah, because my brother wanted to become a doctor, and if I was working in the Philippines, no, you cannot be a doctor. Just do whatever you want with the life, but don't become a doctor because that's too expensive. And then
Well, as in the training is just
yeah, the training.
beyond.
No. Actually, because it's like quite expensive. Everything's expensive back home, back in the Philippines. So
Did he become a doctor?
yeah, he's now a doctor.
Aha, he succeeded.
I funded you.
Oh, right.
I'm your sponsor. So if you're listening, better.
Oh, seriously.
No, just kidding.
So
just kidding.
seriously, as the eldest, you helped contribute to
Yeah,
your younger brothers.
Yeah. And
wow.
I think
Well done, you.
and I think, let's say 80% of, as what I've said, 80% of a Filipino is technically gonna be a nurse, but I think 90% of them would have the same reason as me. It's like, again, because we are Filipinos, we have caring, we look after our family. It's the giving culture. So yeah, but it's from the heart. What I did was like for them, because I wanted them to have a better life. Everyone wants to have. If you're going up, it's better to like bring everyone up with you.
So it sounds like you're very comfortable with being the eldest and the responsibilities it brings. It's not like you resent being the eldest. It's like, I wish I didn't have the care, but you're just like, I'm taking this seriously. This is my role.
well, yeah, but sometimes you have those moments wherein you think, and then I'm too tired. I just want to rest. I can't do this anymore. But you just have to. There's something behind you that pushes. No, you can do this. A little more, and then yeah.
And how many brothers or sisters do you have?
I have four.
Four.
There's like four of us,
Four-
the four
four of you.
siblings. So
And
yeah.
do they ever say thank you, eldest brother, for being generous and for being responsible, or do they just like this is your role?
Mm,
You know.
they're thankful, but sometimes you just like wish, not wish, but like sometimes you just kind of hope that someone messages you like, "How are you?" Yeah,
You hope.
yeah, you hope like, "How are you?" Wanna start a podcast? No, just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, you have that moments. But I think because they're also adults, so you just have to understand and
Are
you know.
you good at keeping in contact as a family?
Yeah, because even though I'm here, I still would want to have a grasp, not a grasp, but
Be part
just
of.
be part of them. And then because I grew up like on my own, and I think having a family or like people, a circle is the best thing that you can have. So, because if you're especially me, I live alone here in the UK. Sometimes it gets sad, but having people around you, is family members or like even friends, who can not constantly but out of the blue, out of nowhere, just like ask you, how are you? How's your day been? That really makes a big difference. That really, for me, that really gives a big difference. And I think and I think from that, that's where I also have, like, sometimes when I go for walks, when I go for a run, whenever I pass by someone, I just like give them a smile or a nod, just to brighten up their day. Because me, sometimes I struggle, and someone noticing me or some sort of like that is life changing already. Like a nod from a random person, a smile, or just like a crazy wave or whatever. And yeah, that's a big difference. That's life changing. That is life changing, everybody.